Priesthood is not just praying in tongues. There's a generation of people praying, they don't know the courtesy of the spirit realm. When you come into priesthood, the first thing you will be taught are the courtesies of the presence. It's not everything you do in the presence of God. God is a king. There are many things that his presence does not tolerate. If you know the presence of God, you discover that the presence of God is the government of God. And for you to be able to bring change to your territory, you must master how to walk in God's presence. Because if God's presence does not come with you, your walls are empty. And so priesthood will teach you the courtesy of the presence. Every spirit has a courtesy that governs the operation of their presence. The reason is because spirits are not men. When we leave this room, we are going to leave the environment and go to another environment. Spirits are not like that. Spirits travel with their environment. Their environment is a part of them. And because their environment is a part of them, they don't tolerate compromise in their environment. Because if you denature their environment, you denature their being. You can mess up in this room, we'll leave you in this room and go to another place. We'll leave this environment behind. It doesn't work like that with a spirit. A spirit carries his environment. That's why when God comes to a place, his presence comes there. And so when you want to do priesthood, it's something you must do in God's presence. So there are courtesies you must obey. The first courtesy of priesthood is the courtesy of reverence. Every son understands the honor of the father. When Moses came to maturity and God wanted him to deliver Israel and priesthood was about to begin, the first lesson God taught him was the lesson of reverence. He said Moses kept his father's sheep in Exodus chapter 3 verse 1 until he came to Horeb, the mountain of God, and he saw a bush burning that was not consumed, and he said, I will turn aside to see this great sight. And the moment he turned, God called him from the burning bush and said, Moses, take off thy sandals. He said, where you are standing is holy ground. If you don't understand the courtesy of honor and reverence for God, you can never be a priest. And if you are not a priest, then you have not grown into sonship. Because when you become a son, you must be a priest. Priesthood is God's plan from day one. He wanted to raise a nation of priests where everybody knows his heartbeat and live out his bodies. But the only way we can do that is when a nation becomes reverent to God. We have a generation where people are worshiping God and they are chewing bubble gum. We have a generation where people come into God's presence and they come haphazardly as if they are talking to their friends. They even show more reverence to their lecturers or their earthly authorities much more than God. And they are hoping that God will come to deliver their land. They don't know the God they are talking to. When you know him, you will discover that in his presence men tremble. Everyone that ever came into his presence fell on his face to the ground. When Isaiah saw him, he went down. When Ezekiel saw him, he went down. When John saw him, he went down. When Daniel saw him, he went down. Nobody stands there. Even the 24 elders, the Bible said, when the presence of God appears, they cast their crown, they fall from their throne and they sing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord. Our generation is a baby's generation because what we do around God's presence is a testimony that we are not yet mature.